It's my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm 25. What? I'm 25. What? It's my birthday. Hey. Today is my 25th birthday, and I thought to myself, I've grown so much through all of these years. So I'm going to share 25 different things that I learned. So maybe, hey, you're turning 25 soon, or you're thinking about what life will be like when you're 25. Let me help you out by sharing these 25 things I've learned with you. Welcome to Depression Talks with Emmanuel. I'm Emmanuel, and if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, I have clinical depression, and I'm striving to build a community that openly talks about depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. So hit that subscribe button because I promise you, you are not alone. And comment down below, if you're not 25 already, what are 3 different things that you think will change in your life when you are 25? And if you're already past 25, comment down below 3 different things that you thought was going to be, but it wasn't. I would love to hear your perspective. All right, I'm going to try to run through this pretty quick. Let's go. The first thing I learned is that your own opinion is way more valuable than the opinions of others. Everybody has an opinion, and trust me, after a while, after you hear everybody's opinion, you're like, okay, I don't care anymore. I only care about my own. The second thing I learned is don't change who you are for somebody else. There are so many times in relationships, friendships, or even our family, it can cause us to become really self-insecure, and you change who you are just to fit in. Don't do that. Just be yourself. That kind of ties in with the third thing I learned is that you become more comfortable with who you are. I was so self-insecure. I had zero confidence when I was in high school and even in college. But now I'm more confident in myself and I love who I am and I'm more comfortable with who I am. The fourth thing I learned is that you really don't know anything. When you're younger, you think you know it all. You have life figured out. No, you don't. Trust me. Life changes. You grow. You go through certain circumstances and you're like, wow, there's more to life than I thought. The fifth thing, when it comes to dating, you are way more intentional. You go through so many relationships when you're younger just for fun. You're trying to find what type of person you want to date, what type of person you are in relationships. But the older you get, the more you realize you really want to settle down with one person and just enjoy that person and not go through all these different relationships. The sixth thing I learned is that friends come and go in life, and that is okay. The friends you have in high school won't always be the friends you have in college. The friends you have in college won't always be the friends you have when you graduate, and so on and so forth. There's so many different paths to life. So to think that your friends are always going to stay in your path, that's not actually really true. Friends come and go, and that's completely okay. The seventh thing I learned is that you'll never have it all figured out. I kept thinking when I was younger, like, okay, when I go to high school, I'll have this under control. When I go to college, I have this under control. And when I have a career, this will be different and that'll be different. No, that's not really true. Sometimes things in life happen and they are unexpected. So you never really have it all figured out. Just enjoy the ride. The eighth thing is that family becomes much more important to you. When you lose family members, when you get older, you're able to have different conversations with your parents. Trust me, the value you have and how close they are to your heart grows so much because you realize they're not going to be here forever. So I'm saying to you right now, enjoy the family you have much more than you are right now because they won't be here forever. So make sure you take care of that precious time that you currently have with them. The ninth thing that I learned is that you enjoy deep intellectual conversation. Instead of very surface level, you love getting to deeper things, talking about life and faith and politics and religion. I know that sounds boring now if you're younger, but trust me, it gets more interesting the older you get. The 10th thing is that your clothing style will change. When you actually have money to be able to buy yourself clothes, oh man, you'll really figure out and experiment about what style really fits you. The 11th thing that I learned is that I am not meant for a 9-to-5. Everybody is different, but sitting at a desk or staying in one place for 8 hours a day, it just is not for me. Maybe it'll be for you, but it's definitely not for me. The 12th thing, paying bills sucks. No matter how old you get, you don't want to give your money to somebody else. Paying bills sucks. 13, you have to learn how to cook somewhat because you can't just eat the cafeteria food in high school or in college. And plus, spending money eating out all the time when you go to work, nah, that's a lot of money. You have to learn how to meal prep. So yes, start learning how to cook at a younger age. So that way you're not complaining about it and trying new things when you get older. 14 is that you realize the motivation to work out truly comes from within. When you're in college or in high school and you play sports, there's always this obligation that you work out. But when you graduate and you're in the real world, quote unquote, man, it comes down to you and you alone. Get into the daily habit right now of working out. So that way it's not such a struggle to get back into it once you turn 25. That kind of ties into number 15. The older you get, the more you just want to feel healthy and look healthy. You don't really care about being super ripped and super jacked. You care about, is my health in order? That's way more important than going to the gym just to look buff. Number 16 is please realize it is true. The older you get, the more you should stretch. I play soccer and now I have to stretch longer than I used to have to stretch. I thought it wasn't real, but it is real. The older you get, the tighter your tendons and muscles get. So yes, you have to stretch and loosen up a lot longer. Man, I am getting old. The 17th thing I learned was actually kind of surprising to me. Your sleeping patterns become very consistent. When you wake up every single day, 5 days a week, at the same time, on the weekends, you can't really sleep in as much because your body's getting more used to waking up at 8 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, whatever time you need to wake up. So sleeping in longer is a lot harder. You start waking up around the same time normally. Number 18 is that finding your purpose can be a struggle. There's so much pressure on you after you graduate from high school, after you graduate from college, to have life figured out and to know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life. Well, I am here to tell you that is always changing. You are always growing. So don't try to put so much pressure on yourself to have it all figured out right now. Take your time, enjoy the process. The feeling of knowing what your life purpose is will come to you after time. The 19th thing I learned is that the older I get, the more I realize how the world views me, more so as a black person. Yes, I knew about the stereotypes when I was younger. I dealt with black people not seeing me as black because I'm articulate, white people not seeing me as black because I'm too articulate. It's so interesting, right? But the older I get, the more I realize, wow, people interact with me in a certain way and think of me in a certain way just because I'm black. I'm not saying I'm hating on it. I'm simply saying I realize it, I understand it, and I still do me regardless of it. The 20th thing I learned is that finding new friends can be harder. You're starting to get to the age where people are married, have kids. People are busy. So having free time to hang out with other people or meeting new people takes more time and can be more difficult. The 21st thing I learned is that high school and college is not real life. You go through so many years of your life in the school system just to realize that, no, you didn't learn anything about paying bills. You didn't learn anything about rent. You didn't learn anything about buying a car, insurance, etc. Those things are not real life. It just prepares you for a 9-to-5 job. So take the time to figure out and ask your parents, I don't know, what life really is about. And that ties into number 22. You actually start to listen to advice that's given to you from older people. When you're younger in high school, you think that your parents don't know life. You think you know more about life than them because you're living it now and they lived it so far in the past. But your parents and your grandparents and other elders, they do know a lot about life. So take the advice that they're giving to you because trust me, it really does help. The 23rd thing I learned is that you actually become a completely different person than you thought you would be. When I was 15 years old, I had no idea the type of person that I would be today, or how strong, or the experiences I would go through. All of your life experiences is truly going to change who you are, and hopefully for the better. The 24th thing I learned is that depression is still a part of me. I thought that the older I got, with my mental health, it would just get better and better and better. But I realized is that with clinical depression, it's something that I have to continue to fight and continue to try to work at and better myself at. So even though that's something that I didn't want to keep necessarily, it's something that I realized and I learned, and I'm doing my best to handle it. The last and final thing that I learned, the 25th thing I learned, is that I'm still young. Okay, yes, I'm a quarter of a century old. I've heard that from so many people today. But I am still young. You think that 25 is old. It is not old. Old is like, to me, 97. Once you hit 97, then you can probably call yourself old. But anytime before that, Old is a mentality. It is a mindset. My grandfather is 70 years old, and people think that he's in his 40s. So old is a mindset. I'm 25. I'm still young, and there's so much more to life to offer, to do, to see, to experience. Whew! 25 years old. I'm too happy. All right, I hope that these 25 things I learned helps you think about something in your life. So, hey, hit that subscribe button to support your boy, to join this awesome community that openly talks about depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. All right, as I always say, do you stay psycholicious and keep smiling.